Hi, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and today we're going to make some cards. And what I'm going to try to do is make a bunch of cards on one sheet so that I can just dump them out all at one time. And so let's give it a try. The first thing, I did put up on the canvas a card, but as you can see, it is a vertical card, and I need a horizontal card. So I'm going to go back on canvas and change that vertical to horizontal, and it changes this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a color so that it's easier to see on, and it doesn't matter what color, just do something so you can see it a little bit easier and it's easier to work with. This is an A2 card, and I'm going to keep these cards very simple. As you know, I do a lot of cards. I've got a couple people that I send cards to on a regular basis and on a weekly basis, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. You just really need a stash. I'm going to unlock this. I'm just using the shapes over on this side here and make this just perfect across here. I'm going to change the color again so that it's easier to work with, and I can see it easier. Working with just this black on the blue is very difficult for me, and probably for most people too. And notice how close I have it to the edge. Okay, so let's change this color to a lighter blue. Oh, this one. Layers. Square. We'll make that the darker blue. And then I'm going to put another layer on top of that, and again use the shapes. And do that here. And I'll probably put something colored, I don't know, we'll do something in the background. And that square, we're going to make it light blue so it's easy for us to see while we're working. Unlock your shape and bring it over. And make sure that you have equal all around the edge of this card. And for some reason we don't have equal along the edge of the card. So let's get it where we need to. Bring this up. So now we're there. Okay. Now what I am going to do is take another piece. I'm using all special shapes on this particular card rather than what they already have made. I'm going to need a square and I'm going to need a triangle. So I'll move the triangle off to the side, the square. We're going to unlock it. We're going to turn it white so it's easier to see. And it's also going to be something that I am going to actually stamp thinking of you on the front side of it. And I'm going to move it over to about here. Now I'm going to take it off here. Move this over just a little bit, these items. And I want to rotate this a little so it's just straight. This one side is straight. Bring it in here. Enough where, as you can see, my edge there is showing, my edge there, so that they're level. Okay. I'm going to hold my shift down, touch that key. Then I am going to hit the slice button. It's now slicing it. And I want to take off the white piece, delete it. I'm going to take off this piece, delete it. And I'm going to take off this piece and delete it. And look what I have left, a little banner. And we're going to adjust the size on this. I don't quite like it. We're going to get it a little bit thinner. And I'm going to bring it out to this edge here so I can pull it out on this edge a little bit more. Okay, bring it down. And then I've already enlarged this flower. Let's arrange it to the front. Move to front. And we have it right there like that. And that doesn't leave me much space for thinking of you, but we're going to squeeze one in there. Okay, we can move this up a little bit further. There. And there we go. Now what I'm going to do is just take and outline that, group it, and move it over to the side, and let's go working on the next card. Now, on this one, I want to use vertical. So I'm going to go back into Canvas, and I'm going to change it to vertical. Okay? And we're going to go and get little shapes. And I'm going to use a shape going down like this. We don't want to go over half, just like that. And we'll use some kind of color paper in the background. We'll take care of that when it comes time to pick the colors that we want. And on that one, we're just going to make it a color. Let's see. Why don't we use pink this time? Light pink. And this one, the canvas will make a darker pink. Or red, there we go, a raspberry. And I want to use this piece of artwork here. And we're going to use that. We'll just use, not what I wanted to do. But that'll work, that'll work. Let's just change this one. Go to layers and change this to this color here. And why didn't it turn to this color here? Did I not grab it? Square, honeysuckle. There we go. Now, let's take this one. Arrange to front. Arrange to front. Put that here. And we're going to bring it down. And I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to bring it down a little further. And I kept it thin, as you can see. Let's bring this one side over just a little bit like that. Now, let's, on this one, let's grab a circle. And let's put the circle right here. And we can stamp something on that. Or just make it a design, and we will move to back, range, move backward, there we go. And let's change this color, the circle, and let's make that sage, just so we can see the different colors that we have it. Okay, and that's our next card, but I think what I'm going to do is another one of those banner type things. Another banner. So let's go to insert shape. Do that, do that. So we have our two pieces. Just move it out of the way for right now. And we will put that to the edge here. And unlock it. Do that. Bring it across. But make it thinner. Get this. And let's make it smaller. Turn it. Set it in here. And let's use your shift key, get both of the pieces, and then hit slice. And get rid of the excess pieces. We'll just dump them. Doesn't that work out really good? And we're going to turn this to white, just so we have the different colors. And let's unlock it and bring it out a little bit more. Bring this to the front, arrange, move to front. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I like this layout, and I'm going to use the same layout, but I'm going to use different flowers so that I can get them all arranged the way I like them, so that we've got different cards. We'll move this to the front. I shouldn't just move it to the front. Okay. And I like, oops. I like the all color rather than the separate colors. And I'm going to change this one. And here it is on the background right here. And I'm going to change all the colors. Or what I can do is just shut off this, and we've got the whole thing there. Let's take that and let's hit contour, and it won't change composite images. Let's ungroup, let's take the lines off. And what I'm going to do is bring it down here, and I'm going to weld it so that it's all one piece. Okay. That way it doesn't have any lines in it or anything. Now, we're going to make this larger. Mother is stabbing herself in the background with her needle. And let's unlock it. Make it a little bit larger. Bring it up. Larger. Oops. This one, larger, and we'll move that to right about there so that we can stamp something on it. What is this? Oh, this goes there. Okay, let's take this, group it, group, and now we've actually got, oh no, ungroup it, sorry about that. Ungroup, and let's take this flower off. Ungroup. Take this flower off and just group these pieces together. Group. And then put that'll go arrange to the front. And then what I'll just do is I'll pick different colors out and have different flowers. Okay, so we've got that flower and that flower. Now for the vertical, we can take this one and let's go up here to edit, and let's flip that flower. So it's going this way. Bring it to the front. And look at this one. This one should turn out really nice. Except we got to move it thinner. Let's go thinner, longer. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see here in a minute. Longer. Move it over here. And let's move it wider. I think that'll look nice. There we go. There we go. Except we kind of scrunched a little bit. Let's move it over a little bit more. And move this wider. There. Now, let's go back to this card, because the way it looks to me, it's got a couple layers. It sure does. It's got a black underneath it. Let's get rid of the pink on top and have it like that. Or it's got brown underneath it, and we'll just leave it that color because we know what it's for. So we've got 3 flowers. So there's 3 separate cards. Here's another one that we can do this to. Move forward. I want it to the front. Move to front. And see how the different flowers gives it a different effect altogether? I like that one. But again, it's got a brown background on this one, and I want to get rid of that. And just have it this like that, and we'll change the color to this, or let's see, we'll just put it in sage so you can see it there. Very good. I like that one. Except it's the same color as this, so let's change this circle underneath here. The circle. Let's change that to just this apple color. Okay, so that when we're making the cards, we can set up our sheets that way. Okay, there's another card, and then this one, arrange to the front, move to front. And here's another card that looks just great. And I wonder if we did, oh, we can't do just the separate colors in this one. I mean, we have to do the separate colors. And because I don't want to do the separate colors, I'm not going to use this flower. Because I can't do just this. I mean, I can't get rid of this. See what I mean? Oh, I know what we can do. Let's put that back. Let's take this and we will weld it. And it doesn't look like anything. So we're not going to use that flower. So I just got rid of it. But we've got this one, and that's going to look great. And these three. So we actually have 4 cards. And what we can do, if we wanted to make this a little bit different again, is you could take and make this area here, instead of that circle, we can have a rectangle over here. Like that, rectangle, go like that. And we could change this rectangle to that color. Bring this forward. I'm going to put bring forward. And see what you've got. Bring the card forward is what I need to do. I'm going to move this backwards. Okay, move backwards, arrange, move backward. Arrange, move backward. Arrange. Well, you know what I mean, so it'll fit underneath that. It'll fit underneath there. It's not going to go backwards because of that. Instead of having that, you could have a square sitting there. So we've got that also. But now, as you can see, we have got in one little sheet, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in one cut. And these little pieces, I am not even going to cut. I wanted to know what they look like. I'm going to cut out the flowers. And I'm going to cut out these little banner things. But I'm not so much going to bother cutting out the backs. I don't know. Let's see how it looks out. Let's go to, and let's do 4 cards, apply. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. Now what I would do, this is probably not what Cricut would want you to do, is I would probably run it in 2 separate cuts. I would do one cut with an 8, apply. Wait, we have how many of these? And I would skip this one, and I would skip this one, and I would skip this one, and this one, I would cut this, I would cut this, skip this, cut this, skip, and cut. 1, 2, 3, how many flowers do we have? Okay, let's go back. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would probably just do 6 cuts of the flower, or just 1 cut of the flowers, and go back and do 6 of the backgrounds so that we would have them. So this is what I would do. I would go 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, apply, and it's going to cut out 6 pieces for me. And I would do this on an 8.5 by 11. See, it'll go on an 8.5 by 11. 2, and we'll cut those. And then I would go over here, cut out these 2. And again, I would do the 8.5 by 11. So I can just use because I have a lot more 8.5 by 11 sheets. And this one, I would leave it. And this one, I would do 8.5 by 11. And that would give me 2 sheets. See, 2 sheets. And then I would go back with the flowers and do another cut. And on the flowers, I would hit go. I would skip this sheet, and I would cut this one. I would cut this one. I would cut this, not, but this one, and this one. See what I just did? Now on this one here, I think that one where it's going sideways, I would have to cut more of those. So, just so I'd get enough cuts, because that's going to give me 6, remember? So, at any rate, I would just plan out my cuts and just go from there. But we've got all this, and let's save it. And we're going to save it as miscellaneous, MISC, cards, card bases. No, card fronts. And then you're all set to start cutting out your cards and then putting them together. And we'll do that later on in another video. Thank you for joining me today here at She's a Sassy Lady. You have a blessed day. Bye now.